What's up, guys? Hope you're doing alright. Man, I've been super busy, so apologize for not getting a lot of videos out, but I figured I'd sit down and just knock out a whole bunch of comic books. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not doing one comic book, so buckle in. It's going to be a long video. Got my sweet tea, got my Oreos. I'm ready to go. Alright, so first, there's no particular order here, so just grabbing them in this pile that I have here. So the first one is Detective Comics. So this is the new one that came out last week, I think. Has Black Lightning. There we go. So it's kind of, I guess, the start of the Outsiders. I don't know, like, are they doing the Outsiders in Detective Comics now? Or are they going to get their own series? No idea. No idea. Although I'm going to do a video soon because I have the August previews back here. So August will be up soon. And I want to get people ready. I enjoyed this. It was okay. Yeah, it was alright. Like, it starts off with this weird talk show thing about a Batman fan. I don't know, like, I really don't care about what Gotham, too much about, like, the limelight of Gotham and what they think about Batman. And I feel like they're trying to reach a younger audience, so I'm like, I don't care. But Black Lightning's pretty cool in this. I find it weird that he's doubting himself, because, I mean, he's been doing it forever. But I thought overall it was cool, although at the very end, spoiler, they had whatever the villain is fight Cassandra. So that was cool. I'm like, you don't want to mess with that girl. Like, that girl will beat you up. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great. I at least appreciated that they got Cassandra Cain back in there, because like half of the team is gone. Like, I don't know what happened to Batwoman. Azrael, I guess him and Batwing jumped over to Batwoman. I don't know. And of course, Tim Drake and Stephanie Brown are gone. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with Detective Comics. Hopefully, Tim Drake and Stephanie will come back, and we'll get some good Red Robin spoiler stuff. That'll be fun. But we'll see. We'll just kind of go as it goes. It was alright. I enjoyed it. I don't know. It wasn't excellent. If they do too many like that, I'm probably just gonna drop it. And, you know, what to say? Because I've been on Detective Comics since Rebirth started. But it wouldn't be the first Rebirth title I've dropped. Alright, next. Darth Vader. I love this series. This series is spot on. By the way, Cloak and Dagger looks really awesome. So I'm excited to check that out. I don't know where it's on. So if you know what it's on, let me know in the comments. I'm interested, definitely. But it's cool. We've been on Mon Cala. I love that they've got Lee, what's his name? I forget his name. They say it in here. Lee Char, I think that's right. And he's the king. And that's kind of a cool tie back to the Clone Wars cartoon, because in the cartoon that's what he was. But yeah, so really great. Really enjoyed it. I didn't not sure how this Padawan guy really was that much of a match for Darth Vader. And of course it turned out he wasn't. But he did stand his ground, which, whatever. I feel like Darth Vader, if I were Darth Vader, I would, I'm not, I would draw the battle out to let him spill whatever he's going to spill. Get as much, just kind of talk it through or whatever. I don't know. Just, you know, in case he's got any information on whatever's going on. I don't know. But, yeah, I did think it was cool. Like, you've kind of got that thing where, like, it's pointing towards, like, Admiral Raddick and Admiral, I forgot his name. Man, I can't believe I forgot his name. It's from episode 5 and 6. Oh, it'll come to me, I'm sure. The other calamari guy who's says it's a trap. Man, I can't remember. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Too many Mon Cala names. I think Raddick dies in Rogue One or something. And Akbar, boom, got it. That was terrible. So I love Admiral Akbar, and I thought it was really cool to see them in like the younger stage and before like Rogue One and the original trilogy. So that's cool. But I really enjoyed Darth Vader. It's really good. The series has gotten a little bit better. They introduced Dr. Aphra in the first series, and she was just boring. She was okay. Feel like she just kind of wasted time for us. Now they've got like the ninth sister or whatever. I'm like, I can't care anything for you, not at all. Like, maybe that's a tie to the Rebels TV show. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I need to. I'm waiting for it to hit Netflix, but or whatever they're gonna put it on. Yeah, I don't really care anything about her. So, but I love the Darth Vader series. Really good. You know, I love that they'll bring all these characters in, and excuse me, they're all like expendable, and I love it because that's what you need in Star Wars. Just anybody in the Imperial Army needs to be dying left and right, constantly being replaced, and except for Tarkin and Darth Vader. Of course, Tarkin dies in Episode 4, but you know, it is what it is. So, well, I'll jump to that one. Thrawn is the next one. So I'm on issue 5. I love this series. Thrawn is like this evil, manipulative guy, brilliant strategist, and logistician. Love it. Honestly, he reminds me of like an evil Sherlock Holmes. Like he just kind of sits back and plans and plots, which is perfect for his character. I know that this is really bad, especially for a original Star Wars canon purist like myself. But I haven't read the Thrawn trilogy, and I really need to. There was a guy I was watching who suggested starting there, and I have it. Like I have the books, I just haven't read them yet. Which there's not much excuse for that. Anyways, one of these days I'll get around to it. I'm just a really slow reader, as you can tell with how often I put out these videos. So I love this series. This is really good if you like the Thrawn storyline, if you like all that. I will say it's about time that we get like a good like overarching story. So far the issues have seemingly like just been different points of his rise, and now that they've gotten him to a good place, like he still doesn't seem to be doing anything, just individual battles. And I guess there's a little storyline because this does tie to the previous issue, but I really wish we'd get like a good story, a good like battle where you see just several issues or one battle and he's plotting through. That'd be awesome. I'm ready for that, and I'm sure it's coming. So although I'm not sure like if they don't do something like that where they're gonna go with this series. But otherwise, I love the Thrawn character. I love this series. Really cool. See how he was in the Imperial Army and stuff like that. So that's really fun. I love Star Wars. It's my favorite series at all. And I mean, I love Marvel and DC a lot. But Star Wars is how I got into comic books. Reading the Star Wars comic books and stuff like that, collecting in high school. Like I remember going to the mall and buying, you know, every summer we'd go on a mission trip with my church, and I remember saving up all year to go to the mall, and I would buy tons of comic books from Star Wars, and I wouldn't even wait till I got home before I was reading them. It was great. So I love Star Wars. All right, next, Iron Man. This is an annual. I said Iron Man. Sorry, because it says Iron Man. Infamous Iron Man. The Thing and Infamous Iron Man. Basically, uh, uh, Doctor. That's not Doctor Strange. I am blanking on all the names today, man. Uh, Doom, Doctor Doom. Bam. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm blanking on everything today. The Thing and Doctor Doom. Um, and so this is really interesting. I feel like they're finally taking Doctor Doom back to an evil state, which I think is wonderful. Wonderful. He meets an evil version of himself, which is perfect. And he's fighting to protect the Thing. It's kind of cool. Like you see him, he's already killed the Reed Richards of that world, and so that was kind of cool. And he really confronts the Thing about all of what he's been doing. He's been lying to um, uh, Human Torch, but even more than that, he's been lying to himself. And I thought that was really interesting critique that Doom had for Ben. And yeah, I really like that. I love this series. This series is so good. It's so good, and it's leading up to the #1 in August, which is Fantastic Four #1. I think it comes out August 1st, so that's really cool. So we just got a few more weeks, and we got Fantastic Four #1. But yeah, so this really the main thrust of this annual is the Council of Reeds, which I thought was really cool. And you kind of see like the history of Doom and how he became Doctor Doom and why he became Doctor Doom, and why he chose evil. And I really one thing I love is that Reed always sees the good in Victor, and I think that's really cool. He's like, you could easily become one of the best like heroes, and but ultimately Vic's gonna choose evil. You know, that's really good. So I really enjoyed that. It was really fun. So I'm loving that series. Zdarsky is doing excellent. I kind of read one of Zdarsky's Spider-Man issues. I forget. It's like Spectacular Spider-Man, something like that. And it was awful. It was trash, but this is awesome. I love this series. This series is great. Alright, next we're going to jump into some Green Lanterns. So they put out a Green Lantern annual a few weeks ago, and of course it takes me forever to read. But this is so cool. Like, this just talks about the history of the Green Lanterns. We're on the planet of, let me see if I can't find this guy, his race, whatever race that is. And there's this big convention thing, and Jessica has been planning like this speech she's supposed to give, and then Simon finds out he's supposed to give a speech too, and he just kind of makes it up as he goes and does really well, and then she just falls apart on stage, and she's been planning for weeks, and it's so funny. The two of them, I love their personalities. It's really good. So she runs off. She gets trapped in this weird place into the center of the earth, and really she discovers like what happened to the Lost Lantern is what they called him, and basically he's underneath in the center of what seems to be the planet, what is left of the planet, but in actuality he's down there and he's preserving the all of his people, which is just spectacular. So they criticize him for choosing like his people over the Green Lantern Corps, and I'm just like, it was millions of years ago or whatever. I don't know. At least in the story, it's at least thousands of years. So they forgive him. I think that's really good. And the ending was weird. Like they send him to karaoke, which makes 0 sense to me. But I do like that he's studying under Simon and Jessica. It's time for them to get their own lanterns, like for realsies. They need to get their own lantern so that they can be apart again. That would be cool. Because I feel like they've proven themselves over in Green Lanterns, and they really need to be official members. I mean, they'll probably stay together because they're a really great team. They work great together. But I think it's about time we have some solo stories for them. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. Let me know what you think. I'm interested. I love all the Green Lanterns. I'm really excited, and I'm going to talk about this in another video because I feel like that video is going to be a separate topic. But Doomsday Clock, they hinted at Alan Scott's lantern, which is awesome. So I like Alan Scott. I wish they'd use him more. I just read the what was that book? Kyle Rayner first run as Green Lantern, and Alan Scott shows up, and it's awesome. That is such a good series. That is such a good series. If you haven't read that, go get Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. The trade is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And when you see like what happens to Hal Jordan and the Emerald Twilight story, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Speaking of Hal Jordan, our next one is Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns. This is number 47. Look at this cover. That is so good. That is really good. I love seeing him. So it picks up, and like each character is going to be under the control of whatever they fall into. The only one that's not in this is what's his name? Jon Stewart. But someone's filling in for him, and I love it. I'm going to get to it. So we start off, and Hal's under the control of this guy, whatever his name is. I forget his name. He's not that important to me. I'm sure he's an important character, but I don't think he's that important. And so Hector Hammond, that's his name. So he's got telepathy, so he can read minds. He can also control minds, and so Hal Jordan is sitting here struggling back and forth with who he is because he doesn't remember. And then we flash forward, we see Guy Gardner fighting Arkillo. That's really great. Just a really awesome story. This is a better one. You can kind of see them fighting. So that's really cool. Arkillo's kind of pleading with him to stop, and Guy refuses to kill Arkillo, and so the suit shuts down, and the Green Lantern ring overpowers it, which is awesome. And he kind of left his dad on a bad note, I felt, but I understand. Like, his dad was an abusive dad, but I like that he says, "I'm proud of you," but I'm betting that when he sees his dad next, his dad's going to be dead. I bet you. So, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, so he's no longer a Dark Star. And then we get to Kyle Rayner. He escapes with the help of Orion, so that's really cool. So they're rushing home. And then you have Hal Jordan. He has taken Hector Hammond to the planet where he forged his Green Lantern ring from his own will, which I feel like it's interesting that his ring is talking to him in the third person, saying, "We do this, we do this, we brought them here," as if it's his own person. Does anybody else talk to themselves in third person? I do that sometimes. I'm like, "No, we need to do this." I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the only one here. Like, why am I talking to myself like that? Anyways, so that's kind of what the ring is doing, because it is his will. It's his willpower. And you kind of see flashbacks to him forging the ring. And I love this. We're Hal Jordan. I love it. I love it. And so he's able to overpower Hector Hammond's telepathy. And really cool. Really cool. And then we see like this huge "Beware my power." That's really cool. So I love this issue. Oh, and then the last thing. So the Dark Stars show up to Mogo, which is where the Green Lantern Corps is located right now, and in Sector 0. But in charge of the Green Lantern Corps is Kilowog, and he's like struggling with the leadership, watching his soldiers die, and all the stuff that goes with that, with being a commander. And he's like, I don't know how Stewart does this, like, man. And I'm just like, that would be really cool. Like, maybe it's happened before, but not in my life, not in my time of reading. But it would be interesting if they sent John Stewart away, at least even for just a few issues, and let Kilowog take over. Because I'll be honest, John Stewart is the best Green Lantern leader by far. Hal Jordan is the strongest Green Lantern. He's the best Green Lantern ever. Kyle Rayner's the best, is the one that deserves to be the White Lantern. Guy Gardner, he deserves really just to run around and do whatever he wants to, which is what he does. John Stewart is meant to be the Green Lantern Corps leader. Hands down, he's the best. Never seen a better Corps leader. But it would be interesting as a side story for a while, if John Stewart left for a little bit or was unable to lead. Maybe he goes unconscious, because I don't want to get rid of him. I love John Stewart. And let Kilowog lead the Green Lantern Corps for a little bit. That would be excellent. That would be really interesting. And you could delve into Kilowog's struggles with being a leader, sending other people to die. Because as far as I know, and I'm not an encyclopedic knowledge like my friend Lewis is, as far as I know, he's never been the Corps leader. But he would be an interesting leader, and I think it would be a really interesting addition for the character to take on the mantle for a little time and struggle with it, and make bad decisions and have to live with it. I think that would be really interesting, because Kilowog, I'm not sure they've really done anything new with him in a long time. He's always been a really close friend and always eager to jump into the battle and stuff, but I'd love to see how different he plays as the leader. So that'd be interesting. That's what I think they should do. Let him lead for a little while. I only thought of that because they put it in this one with him being the backup. So maybe they're hinting at that, because Stewart's going back to the Green Lantern, or going back to Earth to be in the Justice League, which is beautiful. I love it. So maybe Kilowog could be the Corps leader for a little while Stewart's in the Justice League, and then eventually let him have the mantle back, and then Kilowog can just respectfully step back and say, I've had enough. This is not for me. I like being the soldier. I don't like being the one who makes everything. So I think that'd be really interesting. I'd love to see that happen. I just got a few more. Alright, so I'm surprised it's taken me so long to get to these, because these came out so long ago. Hawkman is the first one. I loved this. This is how comic books should be right here. So it starts off, he's in his being an archaeologist, and he's running around and searching for this eye or this shell or whatever, and the Nautilus of Revealment, that's what it's called. And he ends up fighting this giant gorilla god statue thing that chases him around, and that's really interesting. And what really is cool, well, first of all, it's very simple, very fun. You see him being chased by a giant gorilla, which is fun. And he's trying to survive and all that kind of fun stuff. And he talks about who he is and like being in the air. Well, eventually he gets back home and he takes this revealment thing to a lady that I guess is a comic book character, or a Hawkman character. Let me see if I can find her name. Xanadu. There we go. And I guess she's some kind of like magic person. But what I love is this splash page. So you see like all the different reincarnations of Hawkman. Just really cool. He's like, I see some that I know, like Qatar Hall from Thanagar, and I think it's really interesting. They're blending two of the histories, like him actually being of Thanagar, as well as him also being an archaeologist who finds the power and the reincarnation. So I really find that compelling. I love that they blend all those, and they said that he was a Kryptonian too. So Carter Ol of Krypton, really interesting. So I thought that was really cool how they did that. So you see just a whole bunch of different. He sees a bunch of different Carter Halls from different places around the world and in time. I mean, around the universe and in time. And then he sees these giant monster things that are supposed to be destroying the Earth, and he's got to stop them or whatever. So that's really cool. I'm excited. I love this. This was so good. It was really good. I love this issue. Really great. A lot of fun. I'm so excited about the next one. So Hawkman, excellent. Excellent. So next we got Plastic Man. So I'm pretty sure I haven't done a review on these two. I'll have to check, but pretty sure I haven't. But I enjoyed this. Apparently there were some inappropriate jokes in here. I didn't really catch them until until I watched a review. Maybe I'm just out of that world. I don't know. But I love this. Like seeing him as like a ball, big, goofy smile on his face, and he's half serious half the time, and him dressing up as Wonder Woman. That's really funny. I love this issue. It was so much fun. So I had a good time, or really enjoyed this. I know some people who criticize some of the humor, but I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I will say, like these two characters didn't care anything about at all. So this also gives us like an origin story. So we find out how he became Plastic Man, as well as where he is now. So without like spending the whole issue on the origin, we quickly find the origin, and we're able to jump through. It's a lot of fun. I found it really interesting. And then of course, like, he gets framed for a murder or something like that. One of his former friends that betrayed him, has is dead, and they think he did it, and so that's really interesting. I feel like Batman's going to be chasing after him next because he thinks he's a murderer, so that'll be interesting, and then Batman can help him. That'd be cool. That'd be a good thing. Unfortunately, that one's only a 6-issue mini-series. So hopefully, it's Gail Samara, and I'm not a huge fan of hers. Haven't cared for some of her writing, but I mean, this one was good. So I'm looking forward to more Plastic Man. Should be good. All right, last one I'm going to do for this video, because I know this is long, is the Teen Titans special. So they're amping up for the new Teen Titans, and it's been like in the back of every issue. And I will say one thing I loved about this was Damian Wayne. I didn't think that he would really be able to take on the Black Skull, but he looks a little older in this. And I love, like, so Black Skull says Batman doesn't use guns, and he's like, I'm not Batman. I'm like, he's going down the same place Jason Todd does. It's a wonder that those two don't hang out more. So So I'm curious to see if he killed Black Skull. It'll be interesting. I really feel like the only place for that character to go is to rebel against his dad, and I think that's the best thing. So have him leave the Robin role and lead the new Teen Titans that they've got going, and then let what's his name, like get rid of the Signal and let him be Robin. There you go. You know, we don't need the Signal. It is okay. Let him be Robin, and then once he's out of the shadow of the Batman, he becomes a Signal. I don't know. You know, he doesn't have to. I don't know. Or find a new Robin. You know, find another Robin. Let Damian Wayne graduate, because he's been in there for a while. And that'll be good, I think, for the character. He really needs to go get out from under his dad, grow up a little bit, and you know, learn. So they'd have to age him a little bit before I guess they could do that, because otherwise he's a kid. Or he could live with his mom. You know, that'd be fun. That'd be interesting. Or some relative. Or he could still live in the Batcave, just do his own thing. Like, I'm doing my own thing, Dad. Like, I'm a trained assassin. I can do whatever. Anyways, then we get the story for Red Arrow, and she has this thing with her mom, and her mom she's fighting her mom back and forth. Mom almost kills her, and she figures out that she failed. I thought that was really fun, really interesting story. Not a whole lot to talk about, but I really enjoyed that. And then we had this story with Wally West 2, and then you see him get saved by Wally West, and then they have like this long talk, and I think it's good for him to come out of the shadow of the other Flashes. That's kind of what he needs to do. So like, you have all three of these characters stepping out from the shadow of their mentor, and I think that's perfect. That's what they really need to do. So it'll be really interesting to see them. But I feel like they need to be more. What's the word? I think they need to be a little more ruthless. Like they could end up more like Red Hood and the Outlaws, which I love that series. That would be cool. I mean, they have all the makings for that. That would be really cool, like a young Teen Titan Trinity. So that would be fun. I think the only place for Damian Wayne is to get out of the shadow of Batman and help him learn to have friends. Like, you know, him and John were perfect together, and I felt like John balanced him out, and vice versa, because John's, you know, very naive. But you know, I'd like to see Damian become a good character rather than a really boring character that was forced on us. So, which is kind of funny. Like, Tim Drake is the son that Batman chose, and then Damian Wayne is the son that was forced upon him. And similar, like, Tim Drake is the Robin that we chose, and then Damian was the Robin that was forced on us. So, some people like Damian, you know, I'm okay with it. I felt like the only thing I had a problem with was in Super Sons, like maybe it was Superman, some of the crossovers. They felt like Bruce actually had a good relationship with Damian, which I don't think he really has a fatherly relationship. Honestly, like, you never see the two together. Never. Like, since Rebirth has started, and I haven't read Batman, so maybe there's more of that in there, but I feel like the two are never together. Damian's always doing his own thing in Teen Titans or Super Sons. But how often was he in the like? I read several Batman issues and he wasn't barely doing anything, if he was even in the issue. So I'm just like, are they even fighting together? Like, Damian's not in Detective Comics, which thank God, because that was Tim Drake's book. But we needed Batman and Robin. That's what we needed. a Batman and Robin. So we can see Batman fighting with Robin. Honestly, I didn't want to see Batman and Catwoman. I want to see Batman and Robin. Like, let's see, like, back to the old Batman and Robin Reborn, or whatever it's called, with Dick Grayson as Batman and Robin. I want some of that feel where you have a Batman who's actually like, oh, well, we've got to train this kid because otherwise he's going to fall back and become the next Ra's al Ghul, which is what he needs to do. And which I think he does in Batman Beyond, which is awesome. So, anyways, those are my thoughts. I know this is a little bit longer, and hope y'all enjoyed just a bunch of random books that I've enjoyed reading. And let me know what you thought. Are there any of those that were your favorites that you read, or any of those you didn't pick up? And let me know what you think. And I will. Me and Lewis are trying to do something this Thursday. So I don't know if it'll post Thursday or Friday, but we're gonna do another superhero chat or two, all about the Flash revelation. Because if you haven't heard, they announced the top 10 official fastest people in the DC universe, and Lewis and I are pretty big Flash family fans. Him so way more than me, but you know, I've grown attached to him since, you know, I've been hanging out with him, and so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna give our own list, probably of the top 20 fastest people in the DC universe, and I guarantee you that's gonna be very different. And we'll talk about their list, why they did what they did, what we didn't like about it, and hopefully that'll drop Thursday. I'm going to do another video here in a minute about Doomsday Clock. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Peace.